This is the maiden edition of a weekly press conference by ECOWAS. This conference marks the beginning of a new era of media engagement by ECOWAS to ensure that the public gets credible and consistent information on the Commission. The speech by the President of ECOWAS Commission, His Excellency Dr. Omar Aliyu Toure, focused on the core areas of ECOWAS interventions, which include trade and free movement, infrastructure, energy, peace, security and democracy, as well as food security and health. Dr. Toure says ECOWAS is taking steps to address the impediments to the unhindered intra-community movement of persons, goods and services.
As you would all recall, to make the 15 ECOWAS member states a single market, the ECOWAS Trade Liberalization Scheme was introduced in 1979, which immediately made the trade in unprocessed goods, traditional handicrafts, free of any restriction, tariff, quotas, and any encumbrances. In other words, unprocessed goods, traditional arts and crafts, traditional handicrafts, animal produced within ECOWAS can be sold and consumed anywhere in the community. In addition, manufactured goods in the region, which has a specified percentage of local content, can be traded freely within the community without tariff, quota, and other forms of obstacles.
He also mentioned some exciting infrastructure projects embarked by the Commission in the region.
If we move to infrastructure, we will recognize that the community has been very active in the area of infrastructure development. For example, we are building infrastructure and establishing regional infrastructure policies and regulations for the physical integration of ECOWAS member states. We have regional highways, railways, airways projects, as well as maritime transportation plans. The Abidjan-Lagos corridor, which is one of the biggest and busiest economic corridors in Africa, is one of those infrastructure projects. We are developing this highway and extending it to connect Abidjan and Praia via the Gambia, Guinea-Bissau, Republic of Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Liberia. We have many private sector investors interested in these projects, besides international financial institutions that have been supportive, notably the African Development Bank. In the area of energy, ECOWAS has major programs in the energy sector, where a regional energy market is being developed under the member states. To support this market, regional electricity regulations have been developed and electricity projects interconnecting member states are being implemented. Some have been completed linking Benin, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Guinea, Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Togo.
On the critical issue of peace and security, the President described the promotion of regional peace and security as a major part of the success story of ECOWAS, beginning with the ECOMOG peacekeeping interventions in Liberia and Sierra Leone, after which the region transformed its peace and security architecture, enabling it to become an exemplar in the continent.
A major part of the success story of ECOWAS is also in the area of regional peace, security, and stability. We all remember the ECOMOG peacekeeping intervention in Liberia and Sierra Leone. and the transformation of ECOWAS's peace and security architecture, which is being emulated on the continent. Regional laws and regulations in the form of protocols were adopted, seeking to prevent, manage, and resolve conflicts and promote regional security. These legal texts have enabled ECOWAS to have the authority to impose sanctions on member states that violate regional protocols. We continue to maintain peace support missions in member states where they are required. We have stabilization missions in the Gambia and Guinea-Bissau, while another mission is at the preparatory stage for Sierra Leone. These preventive deployment of regional stabilization forces are vital for the security and welfare of citizens and community markets. In the same vein, ECOWAS is also spending considerable resources on fighting terrorism in the region, while a major intervention is ongoing in the area of maritime security.
On her part, the Vice President of ECOWAS Commission, Her Excellency Madame Dantien Chichimbija, said progress has been made in addressing the needs of vulnerable populations in the community through the establishment of a regional stabilization fund to address fragility in the member states under the Livelihood Support Project.
And we strongly believe at ECOWAS that approaching or tackling instability only from a military standpoint is not sufficient. So, although there is a military approach to issues related to instability, we also have to address vulnerabilities within the socioeconomic vulnerability that lead to instability in member states. So, we have under our project, under our fund, we started off with the Gambia pilot, where we addressed, we worked directly with youth and women mainly, and helped them develop skills in horticulture and also in various sectors, and empowered them to become productive members of society.
The weekly media briefing will be addressed by management of the ECOWAS Commission and its institutions.